Tonight, friends and family are confirming what many fear. The 43-year-old man San Francisco police found stabbed here on Main Street early Tuesday morning is well-known tech executive Bob Lee.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the founder of Cash App, a 43-year-old man by the name of Bob Lee, being deleted out there in San Francisco in a very nice area at about 2:30 a.m. Now, there's a lot to this story, but I think the main thing here before we get to the video, and if you want to see that video in full, I'll link to it in the description, IG, link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But the main thing that we need to address here is how crime is no longer isolated in quote-unquote bad neighborhoods in these liberal cities like San Francisco, New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. Crime is sweeping all over the place. You cannot escape it. You can be in a very well-to-do neighborhood, multi-million-dollar homes, or in the ghetto. Crime can affect you regardless. And before I go any further, let's roll the full clip. Again, y'all know where to find it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Tonight, friends and family are confirming what many fear. The 43-year-old man San Francisco police found stabbed here on Main Street early Tuesday morning is well-known tech executive Bob Lee. The father of two was chief product officer at cryptocurrency startup MobileCoin. Before that, he worked with former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey at Square. Dorsey today called his death heartbreaking. Lee would later create the mobile payment service Cash App.
Bob's someone that I just talked to a couple days before and was planning on meeting him tomorrow in Miami. So it was really hit close to home, especially he got stabbed in front of my old apartment complex. So
Jake Shields is Lee's friend.
I'm a professional fighter and I lived right there and I started feeling unsafe.
Current Twitter CEO Elon Musk responded to news of the killing by taking a swipe at the city.
Let's read this because I feel like they're not going to read it on the air. He says, "Very sorry to hear that. Many people I know have been severely assaulted. Violent crime in San Francisco is horrific. And even if attackers are caught, they are often released immediately. Is the city taking stronger action to incarcerate repeat violent offenders?" At Brooke Jenkins, San Francisco. Good question.
Violent crime in SF, he said, is horrific. San Francisco's district attorney also called the crime horrific. Now, Lee had just moved his family from San Francisco to Miami to be with his father. Friends say he was back in town visiting when he was attacked.
Okay, so that's the clip right there. There's a lot more to this story. You know, they didn't really say everything. They didn't even read the full tweet from Elon Musk. There's an article right here. And as you can see, the headline here says, "Bystander ignored dying Cash App founder Bob Lee as he begged for help." So he was stabbed out there 2:30 in the morning. I don't know where he was going, where he was coming from. Probably a restaurant, bar or something like that, hanging out with friends. That's right around the time you would get out and then go back home. He's in a very nice neighborhood. And then somebody, they don't know who it is. If they do know, they're not saying anything about the suspect. But somebody ran up on him, stabbed him. And then he was begging for help from people in the car and they drove off. Let's read some of this article. And we're going to see why he left for Miami and also what happened when he was attacked. So there's a video of this. I don't know where it is. If I can find it, I'll link to it in the box. I'll link to this article in the box too. But tragic video shows dying Cash App founder Bob Lee was ignored by bystanders as he begged for help after being stabbed in San Francisco early Tuesday. Before succumbing to his injuries, the 43-year-old chief product officer of MobileCoin walked up to a parked car that had its hazard flashes on to try and get help, according to surveillance footage obtained by the San Fran Standard. And this probably will link to it. I know I can't play it right here, showing the man dying. If you want to see it, link will be in the box. Footage showed Lee lifted up his shirt to show the driver his 2 stab wounds, but collapsed to the ground as the car drove off. Now, some are going to say, well, hey, man, that's cruel. You see a guy that has been severely injured. You should come to their aid. I mean, I understand that. I understand that people want to help. I'm not saying I wouldn't help, but if you're living in San Francisco, you might see a lot of things similar to that all the time, and then you're afraid to get involved because of all the crime and the violence going on. You're afraid to even get involved. It could be a setup. This person could get in the car and hurt you. A lot of drug addicts out there. It's a mess. It's a complete mess, and I blame the state of the city for them not wanting to help this man in his final minutes or hours on earth. Footage showed Lee lifted up his shirt, so that's what it says. Lee called 911 at 2:34 a.m., pleaded for help, yelling to dispatchers that he had been stabbed and needed to go to the hospital. Police arrived less than 6 minutes later and found Lee unconscious with 2 stab wounds to the chest. And that's him right there, 43 years old. May he rest in peace. And that's them cleaning off the scene. Again, you guys may know about San Francisco, but this is the particular area. It may look familiar to you. I don't really know too much about it. So they said this is the Rincon Hill neighborhood. He was rushed to San Francisco General Hospital where he died. Police had not announced any arrests or named any suspects in the stabbing as of Thursday morning. The brutal stabbing in the city's downtown Rincon neighborhood, a well-to-do area in former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's district. Of course, what is she going to do about it? Not a thing. Keep getting elected until she's 1,000 years old and can't serve anymore, right? But there was a trail of blood along the sidewalk outside the building where Lee collapsed. So according to the Standard, police have not said whether the stabbing was random attack or targeted attack. Could have been a targeted attack. Could have been some kind of corporate hit. Could have been some random crackhead on the street. Who knows? It's San Francisco. It could be anything going on. All right. So let's see here. He had kids. Really unfortunate. Now, here's something that is really important. See this little subhead right here? Lee had moved back to Miami because he felt San Francisco was deteriorating. Okay, so he fled California. He left San Francisco because of stuff like this going on. And he goes back to hang out with friends, family, or whatever. And then you see what happens to him. He loses his life. He loses his life. He should have just stayed in Miami, not come back to California for any reason whatsoever. Let's continue. During a police commission meeting Wednesday, San Fran Police Chief Bill Scott said he had nothing to share yet. We don't want to be premature, et cetera, et cetera. Lee, who was a father of 2 and a longtime Bay Area resident, had recently moved back to Miami because San Fran was deteriorating. Shields revealed Lee was attacked while he was walking. So this is the area right here. Probably just walking down the street and he gets attacked. So looks like his wife and his kids. Really unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate. He was in a good part of the city and appeared to have been targeted in a random mugging attack. Probably a mugging, probably trying to get robbed. And, you know, rather than just, you know, putting a knife to him, say, hey, give up whatever you got, you just will get attacked. That's what drugs and mental illness will do. You just have people that do things like this for no real reason, for no reason that makes any kind of sense. Okay. So that's that. But yeah, it's really unfortunate. Bob Lee had fled California, had fled San Francisco because the city was deteriorating. You know, it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful city, Bay Area, California, beautiful weather. But you also have these policies that attract the worst of the worst in the entire country, maybe even in the entire world. They right there on the streets. Okay, defecating on the ground, drugs, using drugs all over the place, open air, people just nodding off from heroin. And then with all this stuff going on, it all adds up. When you just allow people to just openly use restroom on the ground, openly use drugs, and then when they get caught for crimes, they get a slap on the wrist at best. When they go into a store and they steal anything below $1,000 and they don't get prosecuted, that encourages theft. You're encouraging an air of lawlessness. So, of course, that's going to translate into general danger for the average person. People think, hey, you know what? If I just don't prosecute for particular crimes, then things would be better. We're going to help the poor people. All you're really doing is enabling criminals, enabling these crazy people to go out here and attack regular everyday normies walking around minding their business. And it's really a shame. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about the founder of Cash App being stabbed and killed right there in San Fran? He had been living there for a long time and fled. Like, he left the city for this reason. Should he have stayed gone? Should more people follow his lead and leave and don't come back? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is California at this point. I think they need to do something because, as I said, people will make the excuse that, oh, the crime is just over there. It's only in the Tenderloin. It's only in the South Side of Chicago. It's only in the Bronx. It's only in Brooklyn. It's only in this, that. Okay, well, now the crime's everywhere. Now the crime's on your doorstep, Nancy Pelosi, Paul Pelosi. Now the crime's on your doorstep in these really rich neighborhoods in the downtown areas. Now it's affecting you. So what are we going to do about it? Are we going to keep having these same failed policies that have not worked up until this day? Or are we going to do something different other than what's been done for the past few years that is clearly not working? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.